As the battle over vaccine mandates continues to divide the country, the men and women who serve and protect society are being forced out of their jobs. Here's what two veteran Washington State troopers had to say when signing off for the last time.
Due to my personal choice to take a moral stand for medical freedom and personal choice, I will be signing out of service for the last time today. We all know in this district, on the 19th, there will be 51 of the 75 troopers available, and only 7 of the 11 sergeants. So please, 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 take care of each other, be safe, and make sure you all go home at the end of each day.
This is my final sign-off after 22 years of serving the citizens of the state of Washington, being asked to leave because I am dirty. State 1034, this is the last time you'll hear me in a state patrol car. And Jay Inslee can kiss my ass.
Strong words. Joining me now, Jason Rantz, host of the Jason Rantz radio show in Seattle. Jason, thanks for bringing some local on-the-ground truth to us, my friend. So what's the latest? Tell us what's happening with this squaring off of police with the city government in Seattle over the vaccine mandate.
Yeah, so just breaking today, this afternoon, we learned that the mayor has officially fired or started the process to fire 6 officers. And some might think, well, that's pretty low. Only 6 officers didn't submit to this vaccine mandate. It's not an honest number. What they've actually done was an additional 103 officers who have asked for exemptions, none of which have been granted accommodations, are now being placed in what's called an extended leave. They're on the HR unavailable list. In the coming weeks, the city's going to decide whether or not they're going to simply part ways with them by relieving them of their duty, or they're going to try to walk back some of the claims that they can't accommodate. But at the end of the day, what this means is in total, 109 officers are now being taken off the force at a time where not only do we have the lowest deployable staff rate at 1,048 since the 80s, but we are seeing a rise in crime. So they're taking all of these officers off the street. They're not going to be able to do their jobs at all, which means all of us are at greater risk.
Jason, here was the mayor of Seattle, Durkin, I'm sure you know the mayor well, yesterday saying, oh, it's only 24 officers.
We have a range of contingencies. We're going to see how many. Obviously, we're down to just a couple dozen who haven't put in their paperwork. And if the trend lines are the same, many of them have already been vaccinated and just haven't put it in. But Chief Diaz feels very secure, and I have Chief Scoggins here as well, that if someone calls 911, there will not be significant impacts on the response.
Okay, so she says only 24 officers didn't turn in the vaccine paperwork. You're telling me that's not true. Is there some recognition of how bad this could get? I mean, what has the crime situation been like in Seattle for the last 18 months or so?
Well, last year we hit a 26-year high homicide rate. This year we're on pace to either match that or exceed that. So very clearly, when it's coming from a violent crime standpoint, things are trending in the wrong direction. We're also seeing that across the county. And what happens in the county is separate as far as the data as what's recorded in Seattle. And so from a county level, King County has already exceeded last year's gun homicide rate. So we're now in the historic territory. So things are clearly trending in the wrong direction. So this idea that Mayor Jenny Durkin wants us to think that all is well, that the staffing crisis is not that big of a deal. We, before today, were probably short about 400, 500, 600 officers. That's how many they need to hire. They're trying to hire as many people as humanly possible. That's how bad things are. When you call 911, the average response time for a priority 1 call, that's an emergency that's happening in the moment where it requires an officer or several to actually show up, is 8 minutes. There have been times where certain precincts have only had 3 officers on duty. And so when you get an emergency, they've had to get staff members from different precincts to go over to provide some backup.